Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is casting doubt over a possible new hostage release deal after rejecting two of Hamas's main demands. He ruled out a full military withdrawal from Gaza and the release of thousands of jailed Palestinian prisoners. Hamas said it was studying the new proposal following talks that involved the U.S., Israel, Qatar, and Egypt. While it appears a wide gap between the two sides remains, a Hamas official is expected to travel to Cairo to further discuss the deal. Now, this all comes as the war in Gaza rages on. Israel's military confirmed it had started pumping water into Hamas's vast tunnel network, but the UN has warned the strategy could damage Gaza's drinking water and sewage systems. Meanwhile, this morning, the International Monetary Fund released its regional economic outlook for the Middle East and North Africa. The report comes as fighting between Israel and Hamas nears the 4-month mark. According to that report, an escalation or spread of the conflict beyond Gaza and Israel, as well as an intensification of the disruptions in the Red Sea, could have a severe economic impact, including on trade and tourism.
The other countries taking an economic hit from the war include Egypt, Jordan, and Lebanon. So for more on this, we want to bring in James Swanston. He's an economist specializing in the Middle East and North Africa for Capital Economics. Thanks for joining us. This is an area that we really haven't talked about at all. We primarily focus on security when we talk about kind of the ripple effect of this conflict. But it's not hard to imagine that the economies have been impacted all around this area. What stands out to you in this latest IMF report?
Yeah, I think it's certain that they really have felt the impact so far from the war and the spillovers, particularly when you look at somewhere like Egypt, where it's got a large tourism sector. It's also an external-facing economy with regard to the Suez Canal that's very important for both economic activity, but also bringing in very vital capital inflows. So it's something that's quite a pressing issue at the moment in their negotiations to possibly get an enhanced deal with the IMF. And so the longer the conflict drags on, the larger this sort of impact could be.
So help us understand that impact, specifically as it relates to the economic impact that the war is having on the surrounding countries in the region, primarily Egypt, Jordan, and Lebanon.
Yeah, and one of the things that we were kind of talking about is tourism.
Yep.
Because I got to be honest, you know, sort of at the beginning of the year when we were talking about what should we do for spring break.
I think Egypt was at the top of the list,
We had gone to Egypt before, but I said Jordan might be great. It's right next to Israel. And then suddenly, you know, that's off the table. And for how long? Who knows how long?
Yeah, tourism is certainly a really big impact of how it's feeding through. So in Egypt and Jordan, the tourism sector is around 10% of the economy in a normal year in terms of what it contributes. So we're already seeing some of the impact of the spillover with visitor arrivals dropping, particularly in Jordan, where they've fallen quite considerably when we've had the data for November. They're down on sort of 2022 figures and quite a sharp fall from where they were in, say, October. And also what that brings to the economy in sort of broader spillover as well. That means for other sectors. And also, as I mentioned, with bringing in hard currency, which for some of these economies is vital for how their wider sort of economy operates with regards to currency regimes, and also what it could mean for inflation with regard to if currencies come under pressure at all.
So, James, as you know, here in the United States, it's an election year, and the realpolitik of an election year in the United States is that often geopolitical matters don't influence an election in the United States as much as some people like to believe. On the flip side, you've got what's happening between Russia and Ukraine, which does have an impact not just in the surrounding countries, but all over the world, including the African continent and here in the United States. Help me understand if this conflict between Israel and Hamas, as horrific and as terrible as it is, does it have any impact on the United States? Because a lot of people are saying no matter what happens there, it's not really going to factor into a voter's decision on who to vote for president in 2024.
I think in terms of what it means, if we think of the regional foreign policy in the region and how that could be viewed, of how this is handled and commented on by both candidates or candidates going forward within the US, that could certainly play on voters' thoughts. So, for example, at the moment, what's going on in the region and also the support it might give towards Egypt and Jordan, for example, in helping to mediate any sort of deal that might come out of it in terms of peace in the region. That's obviously very important to what that might.
Right, but what I'm asking is, and certainly the humanitarian issues are going to be top of mind for a lot of voters, right? People who have a real sense of the humanitarian crisis that's underway in Gaza, they will be making decisions perhaps that way. But I'm talking more about the price of oil, the supply chain. That's more what I'm focused on. Even taking the politics out of it, is what is happening between Israel and Gaza, and in any way affecting the United States economy, is my question, I guess.
Yes. I think certainly there is the risk that it creates price pressures on a global level. What's happening in the Red Sea and the Suez Canal with disruptions to shipping, for example, are going to be affecting prices. What we've seen in the past week with how tensions have escalated with regards to pushing up the price of oil towards over $80 a barrel again, is clearly showing that sort of escalatory risk, and how that then feeds through into global inflationary pressures. I mean, at the moment, the risk to sort of oil is low, given that neither of the sort of big oil producers in the region of sort of Saudi Arabia, for example, are directly drawn into a conflict. But the risk, obviously, if it were to spill out into the broader region, and if Saudi was to have any of its oil facilities targeted by Iran or others in the region, that could have a bigger impact in terms of inflation, but then also on the broader sort of consumer goods of the impact that the delays in ships going around the Cape of Good Hope could have on inflation. But it's what we've seen before. It's probably not going to be as large an inflationary impact as what we saw with the spillovers from the war in Ukraine, for example.
You know what's going to upset people? If they have to wait 3 more days for their package. I mean, it won't be, that's what they're going to notice.
Right.
I used to be able to get this, in 2 days. Now it's going to take me a week.
Right.
And that's going to annoy them in this country.
And it's kind of superficial and silly, but that's how people, it's
determine
always
if they're doing better or not.
Exactly right.
Yeah. James, thank you so much.